Food Court, the movie podcast, and Twitch stream sometimes, where Sean
and Michael
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat shit. We are the law.
Oh,
I'm here with, he's not special anymore. He'll never be special again.
never.
Michael Hampton. How are you, Michael? How's it going?
I'm great. And it's okay. I'm not special, to you all, but I'm special to strangers. They're like,
Yes.
that
That guy's special. There's something interesting about him.
a spice, nutmeg.
You remind me of a paprika, honestly.
Ooh, thank you.
If you are listening to us, you probably know that we were not able to make our Twitch stream work. No. But that doesn't mean that we are not good people.
That's true.
We donate to charity. We call our moms. Yes. I call my mom sometimes.
I do too.
You see your mom.
I see my mom, but I also text my mom.
You don't call your mom?
I'm not a big caller. I don't know about calls.
I'll be honest. I don't really like it either, but my mom likes it, so I do it for her.
See, there you go.
I'm just trying. I'm trying to be a good son. I'm trying to do my best.
You're a great son.
In addition to having like a really rough, angry night, we watched a movie earlier.
Yes, that only
the Netflix feature film. What is the fuck is it called? God, it's the worst title. The Devil All the Time. The Devil All the Time.
It sounds incredibly stupid.
The Devil All the Time. The Devil All the Time. Hey, listen, the devil is not taking breaks.
Never.
That's the thing. God, you know what he's like? He's like, well, I'm going to build this whole place, and then on the seventh day, I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here.
But the devil is like, I'm still here on Sunday hanging out.
Yeah.
Waiting.
He's getting busy. He is so busy.
He
never takes a day off.
Weird, fucked up stuff. Because I'm the devil. I'm going to cut off people's heads. I'm going to do butt stuff, of course.
And the question on everyone's mind is, why? Why would the devil do that?
That's what the devil likes to do. He's crazy. I don't know.
Which I don't want to gender the devil. Who knows?
Oh,
devil could be anything. So,
follow up to that. Is it even more offensive to make the devil non-binary? Because then you're saying that like maybe non-binary people are the devil. I don't think they are. I think the devil is a man just because he's bad, and men are bad in general.
Some
women are bad, but most men are bad.
Yeah, mostly men are bad, and the jury's still out on non-binary fluids. Who knows? Good or bad? Anything.
We'll see. We'll wait for the first dictator who's non-binary, and then we'll be like, maybe some non-binary people aren't great.
Ooh. There was a pharaoh back in the day who was like, I'm not any gender, so maybe that's already existed.
Oh.
Because they're like, I'm a god.
To all the kill donkeys, to the big food court fans listening, if you would get back to us, have there been any non-binary dictators?
Yes.
Or just any bad non-binary people? I have only met nice non-binary people so far, so I cannot speak for their badness. But there have to be. I mean, if there's bad straight people, there have to be bad non-binary people and cisgendered people, right? Oh, isn't that true?
I think as soon as you're in the category of people, you're getting into dangerous waters. Okay,
that's true.
It's like, uh-oh.
Well, this is really gonna fuck me up. Even animals are bad. That's the really scary part. Even our dogs love eating squirrels and shit.
Yeah. And they're perverts, total perverts.
They love to fuck legs. Why do they love to fuck legs so much?
I don't know. I can't count how many times I've been raped by a dog. It's just crazy. But I love them.
You gotta love them.
Yeah.
That's just what happens sometimes. Is they attack your leg, and you go, "Oh well, he's just like that." Maybe. Maybe dogs need to have their moment where we just say, hey, dogs, I think it's probably not very useful though, because if you're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, dogs, stop being creepy," they're like, "Bark."
They just keep blocking the door and masturbate. Like, oh god, here we go
Louis
again.
Dog.
Yeah.
Okay, we saw this movie. We got to
Yeah.
talk about this movie eventually. As
I guess.
painful as it will be to talk about this movie, we have to talk about it. Okay.
Yes.
I will try to do the plot.
Please, I was gonna recommend because I don't know.
I barely remembered. I watched it yesterday, which is way too long ago to remember all that happens. Basically, what happens is this is the story of the Russell family and the story of their lives in, I wrote down the name of the town, Knock 'em Stiff.
Yeah.
The name of the town, for some fucking reason, is Knock 'em Stiff. Yeah, we live in Knock 'em Stiff.
Knock 'em stiff.
But Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise plays the daddy, and he's sad because he went to war and it was horrible.
Yep. Very.
And he kills himself. Right? Doesn't he kill himself?
Yeah.
Okay. And then his son, for some reason, every person that anyone good meets is evil.
Yes.
Like Willard and Arvin are the daddy and son. The son is played by Tom Holland, and every person they meet is evil. There's there's an evil preacher. There's an evil couple who have sex with dead guys or kill dead guys and then take pictures of the dead naked guys.
Yeah.
Who else is evil? Oh, there's people who beat up Arvin's sister. They're
Awful.
evil. Oh, there's an evil cop. I almost forgot about the evil cop.
Evil cop.
Basically, I can't quite tell, but I think the point of this movie is that people are bad. Is that the whole point?
Felt like it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So Arvin is he's a young boy and his dad's sad, and then his mom dies, and then his dad kills himself, and then he grows. Spoiler alert! And then he grows up. Yeah, there's complete spoilers. Then he grows up, and everyone he meets is bad. That's basically the whole movie.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Where they really screw up is it's not fun.
Not at all.
Now, I would think personally, in a movie about so many evil people, there would be some delight in the evil.
Yes.
It'd be like, oh, these are fun evil people. Like, Robert Pattinson gets a little bit close because he's kind of like a little devilish, a little like, I'm an evil preacher and I'm going to do the bad thing. There's like a few people who get close to being fun evil, but they never quite get there.
No.
Michael, I've talked too much, so this is going to be the hardest part. What is your beef lamb gyro of this movie? What is the best part of this movie, if you can even pick something?
Yeah, it is very tough because it is an extraordinarily long, slow, sludgy movie.
Yeah. Yes.
Fun and almost anyway. Oh.
I will say this. When I turned it on and it said 2 hours and 18 minutes, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Why? I've talked about this a million times on the show and in regular parts of my life. No movie should be over 90 minutes unless you're really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, okay, even sometimes like Martin Scorsese, you're like, wow, this is like maybe the greatest living director. But sometimes you're like, little shorter, Marty. Just a touch shorter. Why would you? I don't even want to look up his name because he doesn't deserve it. Why would you, whoever directed this movie, think that you can make a movie that's 2 hours and 18 minutes?
I have no clue.
You can make a movie that's 81 minutes. You're allowed to. And then with the credits, it ends up being like 86, 87. And that's fine. It's really hard to fuck up an 81-minute movie. But 2 hours and 18 minutes, it's so easy to fuck that up.
Yes, very.
And he nailed it. He nailed it on that.
He nailed it on screen. Yeah.
Totally fucked it up. Okay, sorry.
Oh,
What's the hero? What's the best part of this movie? Well, if you can't think of one, I have one.
Well, I can think of one, but first, I will say I also had that moment of sheer horror when I looked at the link. I was like, oh, no, please.
It doesn't help that we were told by most of the internet that it was bad.
Yes.
So it was like, okay, this will be bad. It'll just be a short bad. It
No.
won't be, say, 2 hours and 18 minutes, will it? And then you click and you go, oh no.
Well, I felt like they were very. We'll get into this, but I felt like they were very much trying for like a "There Will Be Blood." Like we're long, but we got crazy stuff, but it just doesn't give you the same feeling at all. Anyways, my hero of this film is there was one part where I was remotely thrilled, and and it was when the spoilers, straight up spoilers. Okay,
Total spoilers.
but I don't know why anyone would sit through this movie. I would never watch it again. When he's Tom Holland is confronted by the killers at the end.
Oh,
and
like
he's
the picture couple?
Yeah, the picture couple.
Yes.
And they're like him and the lady are like facing off. There was a part where I was like, uh-oh. And then when they both shoot, I was like, oh fuck. But then, of course he's fine. But that part I was like, oh, that was kind of good.
Yeah.
But
I think I will agree with that. That part is pretty fun. And even the reveal, there is a reveal of that moment where they say so Riley Keough plays Sandy, and Jason Clarke, who's in a bunch of things, but I don't know what, he plays Carl. And so Carl does not trust her. They're both insane, but he does not trust her, and he takes all the bullets out of her gun. And so she gets, I guess she probably would have died anyway, but she gets killed because her husband did not trust her.
Yeah.
Which is a good bit.
There you go.
It's a really good bit.
The devil's in the details.
Wow. Every moment.
All the time. Yeah.
Whoa.
What about you? What was your favorite hero?
Okay. There's a moment when I gotta look up his name. Harry Melling. He's just a creepy looking preacher dude. Yeah. There's so many creepy preachers in this movie, but the non-Robert Pattinson creepy preacher, comes in with his handicapped brother.
Oh yes,
and they play a song. They play "Are You Washing the Blood," which is like a kind of old gospel song, and I like that.
Yeah, that was nice.
They're singing together. They're good singers, and his guitar is kind of out of tune, but it's kind of folky. I like that part.
Yeah, that was nice. But instantly followed up by the CG spider.
CG spiders. Oh boy.
Very interesting.
So he's like one of those crazy preachers who thinks that the Lord can protect him from creatures.
Yeah.
And so he pours a bunch of spiders on himself. I guess he makes it through this one.
Yeah.
But then later gets bit by a spider. Oh boy.
Yeah, that was just. There were bits of this movie that felt unintentionally comical.
Yes.
And that was one where it's just like, it's so stupid. Yeah. I got bit on the head. This is a test. This is a test for me.
This means... So, the crazy non-Robert Pattinson preacher...
Yes,
he
Dudley.
gets bit by a spider. He hides in a closet for a week because his head is blown up to the size of a pumpkin, which we don't get to see, by the way.
That's not... Yeah, I was very disappointed that narrator lied. Straight up.
I want to see his big-ass pumpkin head. And he decides that, for some fucking reason, that means that he should stab his wife in the neck and then bring her back to life.
That was insane.
Why? Who knows?
Yeah, no clue.
There's so much stuff in this where it's just like, I guess it's just completely meaningless.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. Like every time they tried to do, like I feel like you have to earn those scenes where you just like surprise us with like a death. But this had so many of those where it just was like, it just felt like nothing. It was like, okay, here's someone's getting killed. I don't know. Yeah. It was weird.
I wrote down a bunch of things that I wouldn't call good or bad. So maybe I'll say them now in the middle time before we talk about the bad stuff.
Okay, yeah.
There's a few okay things.
All right.
One.
One.
This is more stuff that I don't know if it's good or bad. I can't tell if they meant it for it to be funny or not. But Arvin's dad, Pennywise, he beats up two guys brutally. He nearly drowns one in mud,
Yeah, that was crazy.
and he hits the other one with the butt of a gun. And and then the voiceover says, Arvin would often think of this as the best day he ever spent with his father. And they don't show even one moment of them having a fun time together.
Never.
They just show him beating up two men, and then they show his son kind of being horrified.
Yeah.
And then the dad says, hey, you want to go get some ice cream? But they don't show them getting ice cream and having the best day they ever spent with his father.
No, you never.
I guess he inherently likes when his father beats up men. Is that what we are to assume?
I guess, which I don't know. It doesn't seem like a great role model.
No, especially because he is technically our hero.
Yeah,
like
at the
both
time.
of these men are technically our hero.
Yeah, it was super strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, that choice was really weird. It's like, here's the lesson: just be patient and choose when to nearly kill people.
Yes.
It's like, holy shit.
And he does. He learns that, and it works. Later.
Yeah, I did like the scene later where he beats up that one, the bigger guy. He like shoves the Twinkie in his mouth and then puts the bag on his head.
Yes.
I was just like, wow.
He's like, you like that Twinkie? You like that damn Twinkie? And he puts the bag over his face and he's punching him. And at one point, and this is one of the few good parts of the movie, you see like a fist mark in the bag.
Yes.
Like, he has pummeled the man so much that it can leave a fist mark into his face through the bag, which is good. That's
yeah,
good.
that was good.
This is before that, though. Arvin's daddy says they're praying to the Lord, and it's really weird.
Yeah, very.
And he says, it's going to be all right. And then they cut to both in suits with the sound of earth being shoveled, which is a pretty good cut, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's a funny cut, too.
Very.
Once again, I have no idea if it's supposed to be funny.
I don't think so.
It's one of those movies where you don't trust the filmmaker so much that you go, I don't know if that's supposed to be funny, but I laugh.
Well, I was also laughing at the part where he's screaming at his son to like pray. He's like, pray! Don't you be crying! I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening? And then I totally missed the dog sacrifice. Like, I didn't realize he like crucified the dog. I was like, what the? What?
Yeah, it's one of those movies where, and I guess in some movies you don't need to have someone to like.
Yeah, I guess.
I kind of like Tom Holland's character just because he's like the only one who seems sort of remotely nice.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's just no one who's fun to be with even.
No, yeah, it's not. Well, okay. I thought it was going to be an interesting plot point to have the photographer killers. I was like, okay, this could be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, they weren't fun at all. Like they were just gross and just like everyone just was kind of gross. It was weird.
Gross.
Yeah.
And also what is potentially a fun thing is like, okay, this creepy couple likes to kill men and they then take pictures with them, and Riley Keough, who is a hot lady, gets naked, which is inherently a good thing, you would think.
Yeah.
You go, well, I think this lady is exceptionally attractive. So it sure would be cool if she was naked, right? And somehow even that is weird and bad.
Feels really weird, yeah.
It's like, well, you ruined one of the pure joys of life, which is just like a beautiful woman naked.
Yeah.
How did you manage that movie?
Which I guess that could be an accomplishment. It's like, wow, you really created the most gross. I mean, what they're doing is horrible, but yeah, it doesn't have any like thing to keep you like interested in them because you're just like, oh, they suck. Like,
yes,
there's nothing quirky that's like, oh, but at least they're funny.
Yeah, they're not funny.
No.
Often throughout the movie, I thought, where is this going?
Yeah.
But it isn't going anywhere.
No, and the only things I did figure out a cut like the Tom Holland. I was like, okay, he's gonna get hitchhiked. I was like, that's gonna happen because a lot of the connections were so like either on the nose or forced. I was like,
Yes.
okay, they're gonna do so. But there was just too many of them. Like the crooked cop character came in like an hour and a half into it. I was like,
Yeah.
what is this storyline? It's just so weird.
Who's this guy? Why is he here?
Yeah.
They do this thing that maybe works the first time, but then is really, really reduced in quality every time. Where like they show a bit of something happening.
Yeah.
And then they go back to Arvin's story.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of catch up with people. So you'll see like a second of the hot couple.
Yeah.
Killer couple. And then you will find out later what really happened. Or like the narrator will say like, well, Lenora died in the woods. And then they won't show you Lenora dying in the woods. But later you will see Lenora dying in the woods.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a good bit. But then they do it over and over again.
Yeah. It got exhausting. And anytime the narrator's voice came in, it's this like slow, sleepy, like, oh no. And it just like made me so aware of how slow the movie. I was like,
yeah,
just end it. Like,
the devil down in Knock'em Stiff. The devil, he likes to hang out. Okay, let's go to low mains.
Yeah.
Let's save ourselves. And I've got a lot of low mains.
Oh wow.
I mean, almost everything in the movie is a low main, but
yes,
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
Okay, one main low main is every time I paused the movie, there was an hour left. I don't know. I paused the movie like 5 times, and there was always an hour left.
Same.
It felt like I was in some kind of weird non-zone where like time didn't exist. And I would just like pause it and go, well, I must be close.
Yes.
And then I wasn't close.
Well, it's like the opposite of like escaping into a movie where like, oh, I never want this to end. And like, but then it ends. You're like, oh, I went so fast. But this time you're like, please.
Let me out.
You start getting the urge to pray again, like in this movie.
The movie itself is an escape room, and you're stuck in there. But, well, maybe the podcast that we are recording is the escape room.
Ooh,
because it wouldn't let us out until we recorded the podcast.
Yeah, true.
And now that we're almost done recording the podcast, we can never think of this movie again.
I cannot wait.
But this is an interesting thought. What if somehow this podcast, this episode, just becomes wildly successful?
Yeah, this is the one.
It just for no fucking reason gets 1 million downloads. Like my phone is just blowing up. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm just getting strange Twitter messages from people who are just like, at Food Court Cast. Oh, I love this message so much. And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. I'm like, oh my God. Now I have to think about the devil all the time more.
You have to think about the devil all the time.
All the time. Whoa. That's some really heavy shit.
Which I gotta say, either way, if the podcast blows up from this or if it doesn't, it was all the devil. The devil messed up the Twitch stream. The devil.
Yes.
They are messing with us.
The devil is fucking shit up. Michael, what were your Lomans?
Okay, definitely length. We have to talk about length. I wasn't wowed by any of the performances. I think that was kind of low. Just like bland.
There's plenty of, I think that must be completely the director.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of good people in it. And I wrote down specifically Riley Keough wasted. That's what she's wasted. Because she can be fantastic. The Lodge, I
haven't seen it.
I have like been giving people recommendations, but also been not giving people recommendations because it's a complete bummer.
Oh yeah.
It's like a totally depressing movie. But everybody in it is fantastic. It is fantastic. I love it. Riley Keough is awesome in it. She's so fucking good in it.
Great.
And so I was like, oh, well, Riley Keough's in this. I'm a new fan. I'm excited to enjoy Riley Keough in this movie.
Here we go.
And here we Keough. And she, I will be honest, does a few interesting things.
Yeah,
like there's
when
moments.
she's like, "Hey."
Yeah. Well, okay. There's these moments when she has, like, she at some point turns off.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah.
My plan is to get out of this somehow. And she keeps getting caught by her husband.
Mm-hmm.
She, if you haven't seen the movie, she plays the sexy lady who, with
Is
her husband,
murdering.
kills people. Yeah.
Which they only meet because the evil guy gives the dad his seat in the diner at the beginning.
Oh, yes.
So that's supposed to also mean something, maybe.
Everything's connected.
Yes. Woo.
But it's all bad.
Yeah.
It's like there are no coincidences, and every coincidence is bad.
Bad, yeah.
But okay, so I want to give Riley Keough some credit because after she is turned off, there are these moments where like she is like she's essentially supposed to wine and dine these men before they get killed.
Yeah.
And there's this one moment where they're in the woods with this soldier dude, and like there is these moments where she smiles and then her husband looks away, and you can see the kind of smile stays, but the eyes turn off.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
Is a pretty good bit.
Yeah, that's a sign of a good actress.
Yeah.
Actor.
Yeah. Act person.
Yeah.
And she's not completely wasted, but she's mostly wasted. Almost everybody in this is mostly wasted.
Yeah, and it felt like I had no clue why they were in the movie. Like Robert Pattinson, no clue why he's in this. No. Like you could list any of them. Tom Holland, not really sure. I mean, he looks like a young person, so I guess that works.
That is good. I tried to do my usual thing when I watch a bad movie. I tried to Google what the how much it costs to make.
Oh, yes.
But the internet did not tell me. I guess Netflix doesn't let that kind of stuff out.
Really?
But wow. I always hold it up against Upgrade. Like, okay, Upgrade had $5 million to make a movie.
Yes.
And they made it look great.
Yes, exactly.
And they had like actors you don't really know very well, but they're all fantastic.
Yeah, and it's at least fun and kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Engaging at least. Yeah.
Yeah. But this
just wasn't engaging. It's just like
it was not engaging.
Oh, I made a note. The like meet cute kind of scene with the dad and the mom. I was literally more interested in the brick wall behind them. I was like looking at the pattern. I was like, that's kind of nice. I wasn't listening.
It's a nice brick wall.
I don't care. And I also had this weird thing. It could be because my mom and I watched Antebellum last night, so I might be a little sensitive. But I'm just kind of tired of this time period in movies because it's just I don't know. It doesn't feel good to watch for me because I'm like, everybody's white. Everybody hates white people. I'm like aware of that context. I'm like, this is kind of, I don't know. I've noticed that lately in movies. I'm like, I don't like this era. Sucked.
Yeah. It's a bad era. And also I've just felt myself thinking not only about that era, but about the current time we are in.
True.
Being bad, like not just that it's bad, but also like I don't want to watch a movie where everything is evil.
Yes.
There is no good. Even the good characters are bad.
Yeah.
And also it's not fun.
Exactly.
Like,
that's just life. No.
The Death of Stalin.
Yeah.
Is about a bunch of evil people doing horrible things.
True.
But it's funny.
It's so funny. I love that
one. Funny. It's a great movie.
It's really funny.
This is just like, okay, if you're going to talk about what is close to truth, that like there's a lot of bad people out there.
Yeah.
And you may not be able to escape evil and death and violence.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you were like the nicest lady, even if you were the very nicest waitress, you still may get cancer and die. I don't want to watch that movie. Like, I guess I just need a movie to either be fun evil or some moment of light through the darkness where good conquers evil.
Yeah,
Which they kind of do a little bit at the very end. Where he's like falling asleep and like maybe something good might happen, but even he's like, maybe I'll go to Vietnam. He's like thinking about going to Vietnam, and you're like, oh my God, don't fucking go to Vietnam.
It's
the worst fucking thing you can do, dude.
Yeah, maybe I'll go it's like, and I don't know if they're trying to say like, oh, he's, it's like a cycle. He's gonna be his dad again in the war.
That is
but it's just
absolutely
miserable.
what they're gonna do. Yes, it is miserable.
Miserable movie.
It's a fucking miserable movie. And it must be noted, and I can let this go in a fun movie.
Yeah.
Like in A Silence of the Lambs, I can let a kind of wonky Southern accent go.
Yeah.
Because Clarice kind of has like a down.
Hannibal Lecter. Yeah.
My name's Clarice Starling. This is how Southern people talk in real life. Even people who have been to a university for some reason talk like that.
The lambs.
I'm afraid of the lambs, and he threw his sperm at me. And in that movie, it's fine because that movie kicks ass.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's well done.
Like, who fucking cares? Like, in a good movie, who fucking cares about anything? Like, I can let anything go by in a good movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Let a weird Southern accent go by in a good movie because who fucking cares?
Exactly.
It's fine that it's weird because I'm having the time of my fucking life.
That's very true. Yeah, there was nothing to cling on to or character you liked or anything. Like, you have to have something. Like, even Hannibal Lecter's horrible, but he's got like charisma. That's just like
so much fun. You're like, ooh, he's so deliciously bad. But in this, all you can do is like hate each individual Southern accent. Yeah. You can go, well, this guy, Bill Skarsgård, is certainly not Southern.
No, he did not pull that off.
Robert Pattinson is not fucking Southern.
It fell apart. His really felt like I was like almost laughing. Like, what is like when Tom Holland goes to kill him in the church, that felt very like trying to be like there will be blood. Bowling alley scene, whatever. But it just like it fell apart. Like all of the shootouts and stuff like kind of fell apart and got like goofy. Like Tom Holland yelling at the crooked cop like, your sister was a murderer. Like it just came up so insane.
Yeah.
What is this?
And this is another point to, if you're gonna make a movie that's miserable, make it kind of interestingly miserable.
Yeah, I mean,
like, okay, Henry Portrait of a Serial. This is another miserable movie. Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer is fucking miserable, but it's like so you can't take your eyes off of it because so horrible. But there's not even like, okay, the few moments like, okay, he's punching the people who beat up his sister. Arvin, our sort of hero, is punching all the guys who beat up his sister. And that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And it is done in sort of an interesting way. Like, I've never seen a paper bag thrown over a man's head and then the paper bag head punched.
That's pretty good.
So that is like an interesting version of that. But like, there's so many people just getting shot.
Yeah.
Like,
it becomes so, you're just, it's just blasé after a point. Like, all right, here's someone else getting killed. Okay.
Have him get shot in an interesting way.
Yeah, maybe.
Have him get shot and maybe he staggers around a little bit and he's kind of like blood is streaming down his face and he's kind of like, ugh. Have like some twist on the thing.
There was no twist. It was very just loop. That's what it is.
Yep, he got shot. Meh.
He got shot.
Okay, and then he got shot. Okay, and then this guy got shot. Oh, and then the lady got shot.
And then he got shot. And then okay. It's not a goofy thing, but like I really didn't like too like the suicide like accident was just so it just was so many random choices in the movie. Oh, she just tried not to kill herself. Oh, she tripped. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It felt weird to me.
And like a moment like that either make me sad.
Yeah.
Or make me laugh.
Yeah. Which
that moment could be either one.
Yeah. I
Okay,
did
it's
not
sad.
I did not feel sad, but I almost laughed because Tom Holland kept trying to like kick the door open while he was holding her.
Yeah.
Grandma! And he'd like kick the door. I was like, this is not
Hey,
working.
Grandma! Tom Holland's accent is not too bad.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's
He's
pretty good.
probably the most fine acting wise. The
Yeah.
lady too,
Yeah.
Keo.
Keo. Yeah.
Keo.
I mean, I think I I have only recently come upon this knowledge, but I think there just are no good actors. There's just only good directors and editors.
Yeah,
And
probably.
even the very best actor can get totally fucked.
Oh, absolutely. We're just like,
Like Robert Pattinson often kicks ass.
oh yeah, yeah. It
And
just yeah.
he just is nothing in this movie.
I just don't understand reading this and being like, yeah, I want to be in it because I think it's based off a book or
It is
something, maybe.
based off a book.
Which I don't want to read that.
It gave me some vague, like, much smaller version of Cloud Atlas vibes, where it's like, oh, everything matches with everything.
Yeah.
This is, but like just the most miserable version of Cloud Atlas, where like Cloud Atlas is like, oh, sad things happen, but also happy things happen.
Yes, exactly.
And there are some moments where you feel, oh, thank God, a nice thing happened after all those miserable things happened.
It's
But
like Cloud Atlas and No Country for Old Men had a baby that was just had none of the skills.
No,
the parents.
no, I didn't even think about No Country for Old Men. That is a really good comparison.
Amazing movie, and
yes.
again, you have this horrible killer, but he's like kind of weird and interesting and funny.
Yes,
and you stay for it. Anyways, I did have a line that I liked. That I was checking my notes. I had a line that I did like.
Did you write these down on a piece of paper?
On a piece of phone.
Oh, a small section of phone.
Yes, a small swab.
I tore off a piece of phone, and I got out my stylus,
and I went ting 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 ting, and then I typed something.
Did you crack it? Maybe you like shaved with like a knife.
Yes.
Like you carved into the glass of the phone your note.
Now you're so close to the actual answer, it's not even funny.
Go ahead.
But my favorite line of the whole movie is when the Arvin's a little boy and he's just found his dad had killed himself.
Mm-hmm. All right.
There you go. But he had just killed a dog, so I was kind of like, well, I literally said out loud, I'm like, why don't you sacrifice yourself instead of the dog?
Yes.
And then he does both, so okay. But anyways, the cop's like, what is that? To the like cross thing they had made.
Yes.
And then little Arvin goes, it's a prayer log. And then he goes, but it don't work too good. And I died. I'm like, that is gold.
It's true. It's so true.
Work too good.
It's so true. Yeah, I mean, I think there are a million ways where this movie fails.
Yeah.
But one way is that, like, if there's the devil.
Yeah.
Which seems to be implied by the fact that everybody's evil.
True.
Isn't there a little bit of a god somewhere?
You would think.
Just, I mean, there's a few nice people, but even they are just like helpless, worthless people who just get killed for no reason.
No reason.
Yeah. And their deaths are just sad, but not in a good way.
Yeah, like what's her face, Mia Wachowski, like getting stabbed in the throat, just like
stabbed in the throat. She loves her husband.
Yeah, well, that was kind of an interesting part, like exploring like how like faith can go really wrong, and like I did like that idea of like him trying to resurrect her after he kills her. I'm like, that is insane, but sad that it's not that outside of the realm of what people, I don't know. It's interesting. I was like, I don't know about
Michael?
This. Oh, mm-hmm.
Do you have any other thoughts about this? I'm out.
Yeah.
I think I'm officially spent, so I just wanted to check if you have any more things that you want to say about this movie.
I think that I've looked at my notes. I feel like we've covered the whole damn thing, and I would love to forget this whole movie.
I am so excited to. I'm gonna post about it for about a week
Yeah.
on Food Court, Twitter, and Instagram,
Yes.
just because that's how you get people to listen to a show. But
True.
after that week is up,
Boom.
I'm never gonna think about it ever again.
Throw it in the trash.
I guarantee I will never ever think about it. Michael, do you have anything that you want to plug? Do you have any
Oh.
socials that you want to drop on these people?
Oh wow. Well, my socials, I am Mampy Hikes on everything that I can think of.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna be on Badum Ching the podcast
Oh,
tomorrow night. So that episode will come out eventually. I'm just talking
sweet.
about art and music and comedy.
This is our good buddy Carl Roberts III, who
Yes.
was on an episode, and we watched Over the Top, the Stallone movie Over the Top with Carl, and
I
he
was not
has a
there.
podcast called Badum Ching.
Badum Ching.
It's about comedians who are musicians and vice versa.
Yes, yes, yes. Which stretch for me, but you know, it's
You are a
gonna-
musician.
I make music. Let's
You make
put it
music.
that.
Hey, listen. I mean, I'm a comedian, and I probably will never do comedy again because public spaces don't exist.
Yeah.
So, I guess it counts.
Yeah.
If you're listening, you probably already know this, but in case you don't, we are at Food Court Cast on Twitter. We're Food Court Movie Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Food Court Movie Podcast. And we're going to try so fucking hard to make the Twitch happen. We've been having so much fucking problems, but we're trying so hard.
Yes.
Just know that it's not for lack of trying.
Yeah, we tried
We have been just so fucking miserable trying to do it. So we have been just desperately trying to make our faces be shown to you live on
we
Twitch.
know you want it. We know you want it.
We know you want it, and we know you love the show, and you love it so much that you're going to go to whatever app you're on, preferably iTunes, because that's the most important one, and give us 5 stars and write us a nice little review in there, just like clickety clickety. I too hated the devil all the time. Let's band together and harm the filmmakers physically, not to the point of death, but just like hit them in the face like an open-handed slap and say, you ruined 2 hours and 18 minutes of my life.
Yes.
You disgusting piece of shit.
But great brag over the head scene. Great.
Yes. Great bag of the head scene. And on that note, thank you so much for joining us again as a wonderful, amazing co-host, Michael.
Oh, thank you. You're the amazing co-host, if I may say.
You know what? Tonight, I have to accept it. Normally, I would not, but I need anything I can get. I'm going to take any little bit of joy, and I want to thank you so much for saying that.
Of
course. On behalf of Michael, on behalf of John, who's not even here, I want to say bon appetit.
Bon appetit.